It's Thursday, so let's sail into the weekend with episode 29 of Build the Titanic, today on Brickscale Studio. Welcome back to Brickscale Studio. My name is Jeff. Thank you so much for joining me. So today, not a super crazy episode, kind of chill. In the first issue, issue 57, we're going to be building the fourth funnel, which is different than the other three. So I'll explain that when we get into the build portion. And then in issue 58, we have another deck piece and some veneer to install, and then just some benches and some vents. So nothing too crazy. So let's get into the build. Here we are with issue 57. And it looks like we're building the fourth funnel. So this one will be a little bit different because, I'm not sure if you are aware, the Titanic has 4 funnels, but only 3 of them were actual exhaust funnels. As you can see in the picture here, only these 3 have steam coming out. This one does not. The fourth funnel was just for aesthetic purposes. It wasn't actually functional, so this one will be a little bit different. So, issue 57, there are the parts. Alright, so again, quickly to just inventory the parts, we have the funnel plating, the funnel interior, the top of the fourth funnel, the stay collar, and then we have some pipes here, a platform, a ladder. We have the interior of the fourth funnel, and then we have the funnel cap. So again, the first thing we're doing is we're taking the plating and we're putting it on here, and we have those super teeny tiny silver screws that we'll be putting in here. And if you recall, on the third funnel, I kind of messed up and put the screws in the wrong hole, so let's make sure that we do not do that this time. Let's try to do this correctly. Again, if we can get one side going. It's like, yeah, these screws are so small, it's crazy. Alright, so we got one side done. Let me just make sure I have done that properly. Yes, so now the other side we just need to obviously do the same. There we go, so we got one in, so hopefully the other 2 will be a little easier. And I don't know, the first and second funnel, I don't remember having so many, or so much difficulty as I have had with the third and fourth one. Alright, so that is the plating. Okay, now we take the top here. And remember, we have, these are different. One side is wider than the other. So there we go there. And then we make sure the one with the 3 little holes goes, goes here, like so. And then we want to take, let's see, remember one of these has holes in it, and that is for this piece to sit in there. So let me get my glue. Okay, that sits in there, and try not to glue it to your fingers. And while that is drying, we will put this little platform in, which, if you remember, we have this little tab here. And that is going to go just like so. And then, of course, we have this piece now that will go over that. Like so. And then we have our ladder piece. All right, so there is the ladder on. Yeah, we need to put this pipe on. All right, and that goes on just like so. And then the last thing we need to do is we're going to put this on. Goes in there, and then let's see. Okay. So that goes on like so, and then it says that we can hold it in place temporarily with a little masking tape. Of course, we will do that, just like we have our other ones. So now we want to bring over the base that we worked on in a previous episode. And the ladder and everything is going to go toward the vents. So that's going to go on just like so. And we are going to secure that in with some AP screws. All right, and so that is our fourth funnel assembly. And that is it for issue 57. Bring over issue 58. And it looks like we get another piece of decking and some more veneer, along with some accessories. All right, great. Let's see what we have here. So we have, this is the first class smoking room, and then we have the veneer for the roof of the smoking room. We have the veneer for the aft boat deck, which we completed in a previous episode, so we'll be bringing back that big long, well, it's really long, it doesn't even fit, piece of deck to put this on. We have 6 benches, and then we have various vents and cowls. And then we also got a pack of screws, which it says that we are not using them. It says store the unused AP screws carefully as they will be needed in a future issue. So we will just put those aside. So the first thing we want to do is take the, I'm going to set these over here. We want to take the first class smoking room, and we want to take our deck piece here, and same thing. We want to put, I'm going to put a little glue. All right, I think that's going to be good enough. So peel that off, and then we are going to attach this. And I always like when there is like a raised area because that just helps with the alignment. All right, perfect. Let's see, now we need some of these little cowls and vents and things, so let's get those working here. So we need this one, which is just called cowl. And it's going to go right here, right in there, like so. So let's put a little glue on that. So there's that one, and then we need the other cowl, which is this one, and it is going right up here by this little raised hole. So let's get some glue on there. Now we have these pieces, so let's see. So yeah, they're sort of mirror images of each other. So we want to put them on so that this little notch that's sticking out faces outward. So they're going to go on just like so. Just like that. So let's get a little glue. Okay, there is that side. And then we'll get this side in. All right, so that is the two vents. And now we need to do our benches. So we're going to have a bench here and a bench here. Grab those. And that one goes there. Perfect. All right. So we are done with the first class smoking room. So I'm going to put that over here. Now we need to bring back, I'm going to put the other benches over here because we're going to need those in a minute. So now we need to bring back that huge long deck piece. And that is right here. I'm going to take these lifeboats and stick them in my pile with the other lifeboats. Okay, so what we're doing is we got this piece of veneer and it is going to go right here like so. And this piece is way better than the piece we got in the previous episode that was all curled up and just not looking very good at all. Okay. And then this one, again, I love we got the raised areas, so that really helps. And then we just need to put some benches on, and it looks like they are going, we've got 4 of them, and they're going next to these little stairs here. So let's get our benches in. One there. One there. One there. And then our last one. Okay. Alrighty. So that is it for issue 58. So let's move on to the Lego side. Here we are on the Lego side. So if you remember from last episode, we started working on this hull piece. So we will continue that, and I believe we will maybe finish it. Let's see. Yes, we will be finishing it and installing it on the sort of base that we've been working on right here. So since we're not using this right at the moment, I'm actually going to set it aside. So let's continue with steps 61 through 75. All right, so that is it through step 75. So obviously we finished this whole section here, and then of course we're starting on the one for this side. So we'll continue that in the next episode. To recap this episode, we built the fourth funnel and attached it to the funnel base, and then we completed the first class smoking room and attached all these little details on there, and then we also put some veneer and some benches on the big long deck piece that we've been working on. There's just not room for it here now, but we did that also. Then on the Lego side, we finished this hull piece and got it attached, and then we started work on the other side hull piece, which we will continue in the next episode. So that does it for episode 29. So that will do it for the build portion. So see what I mean? Pretty chill, nothing too crazy or complex. But how about that fourth funnel? It's just for looks. I guess, you know, symmetry is everything. So let's do our summary really quick. For the scale model, we completed 12 steps and used 24 parts. For the Lego side, we completed 37 steps and used 163 parts. Total to date, on the scale model side, 364 steps and 679 parts. And on the Lego side, 786 steps and 3,251 parts. All right, so moving right along. So in the coming weeks, so the next 2 to 3 weeks, the Lego parts are going to ramp up. We're going to be using a lot of small parts, so the part count adds up pretty quickly. But nothing, again, nothing too crazy or complex, just a lot of little details on the Lego portion. So we are running down to the last few days of our daily 1989 Batmobile sort of Advent style build. So we've got, what is today, the 18th, so we've got less than a week left. So 6 days, I think. Yeah, so we'll end next Wednesday on Christmas Eve. And because we're so close to the Christmas holiday, we are taking Saturday off from the 1966 Batmobile. So we'll just have the daily 1989 Batmobile on Saturday. We won't have the 1966 one, but we'll pick that up after Christmas. Stay tuned on Wednesday next week for the finale of that daily 1989 build. And then be sure to check out Christmas Day. We've got a nice little Santa figure to go with the day. So remember to like, share, subscribe. It really helps. We're still trying to reach our subscriber milestones and give away some free Lego. It's totally free to subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And of course, as always, happy building. Take care. Be kind to each other. And I will see you soon.